Hi, this is Dario. Welcome back to my channel, Motley Reads. This video is a tag video, Jane Austen at home tag, and it's very fitting because it's Jane Austen July. This tag has been created by Tilly over at Tilly's Shelf, and I was tagged by Jack, Rambling Raconteur. And very interesting tag, excellent tag. I would say a difficult one because I had to dig through my shelves and think quite hard about how to answer the prompts. And I have a pile of books next to me here that are the answers to the prompts. So let's start. And excuse my rugged looks, but this is how I look on vacation, because it's vacation time here in Sweden. For you that don't know, July is the time when Sweden is closed. So we close the whole country and everybody is just vacationing. So that's what we are doing. And this year, like last year, no travel abroad. So we are staying at home, but we are blessed with the very nice weather. So it doesn't really matter that we are not in more southern parts of Europe, although I'm not very much into too sunny places, but still it's quite pleasant with the good weather. Well, now I'm in the weather, like many Swedish people, they go to weather very soon, so did I as well. But let's get back to the tag. So first prompt of the tag is Mansfield Park. The grandeur of the house astonished but could not console her. Name a grand book. So a grand book, the first thought, I had the first thought, okay, which book is really a book that is grand in all senses, like, when it comes to reputation, when it comes to size of it, when it comes to the subject that actually treats, and and the style of writing and everything is really a grand book. And the first book I thought about was Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Is I would say my favorite classic. It's really fantastic book and a grand in all these senses. But then I thought that, okay, maybe that's just too obvious answer. Are there any other books that I think of grand in the same way as I think of this book? And then another book came across my mind. It is grand in all these senses. It is huge book. It is very grand reputation here in Sweden. It is not as well executed as a Tolstoy's book is, although it is very well written, fluidly written, but it's not these rich language, but still very strong. And it's this book by Vilhelm Moberg. It's a Swedish novelist. He was awarded Nobel Prize Literature. I don't remember which year it was. And what he wrote, this is actually not one book. It is a series of 4 books. It is the Immigrants series, and it is a book about the great exodus of Swedes to North America in the 1850s. So in mid-19th century, Sweden was of the poorest, one of the poorest countries in Europe. It was the population was subjected to huge oppression by the authorities, by both the state and the church. It was quite difficult time with the famine, and lots of families losing their children. So lots of people decide, and actually, it is we are talking about millions that emigrated to North America, and all these families that have Swedish names in North America. They are coming from this period of time. And so Vilhelm Moberg wrote this series of 4 books. It is they are called Emigrants, Immigrants, New Builders and the Last Letter to Sweden. It is following one family from, basically, these hard times in Sweden, the over Atlantic, and building up a new life there. And it's really, really epic story, and it is really integrating the soul of Swedes. Even people who don't read, they know about these books, and they identify themselves with the content of these books and the characters of these books. Also, movies have been done on this theme, and also one great musical. Swedes are really well known for musicals. One great musical, Kristina från Duvemåla, was also created back in 19th and was very celebrated. So here it's really a big thing, and these books are worth reading. Really, it's fantastic stories, and it gives you insight very much, both if you're Swede, into into the history and some of the driving forces behind Swedes always searching to improve their life conditions. I guess that's why this society is so wealthy as it is. But also, if you're American, when you read it, it is a story, one of the great groups of immigrants that created the United States, what drove them and how it came about. So this is really great reading. Willem Moberg, the Immigrants series. Okay, so that was the first problem. Prompt number 2, Barton Cottage, Sense and Sensibility. In comparison of Norland, it was poor and small indeed. Name a book about a household in desperate circumstances. So the first book I came immediately to think about is the Patrick Melrose novels by Edward Sinobin. It is a series of 4 novels written. I think they've written over 3 decades. It is as I understand, highly autobiographic, and it was also made the series either HBO. I think it was on HBO, or maybe it was Netflix with Dominic Cumberbatch in starring in the title role. So the book is about the a wealthy English family that is in a great trouble, so to say. In the first book, Patrick Melrose, the main protagonist of the novels, is just a small child, and the first book is about his life as a child being abused by his father. In the second book, then he goes on and becomes an adult with the serious drug problems, and so it goes. So this family is really. Especially first book, it really broke my heart. So and then it's really, and it's very well written. The whole series, Edward Sinobin, Patrick Melrose novels. Prompt number 3, Hartfield, from Emma. I believe few married women are as much the mistress of their husband's house as I am of Hartfield. Name a book you feel entirely the mistress or the master of, and it really has to be the Bridge over the Drina by Ivo Andrić. I also made a review video. It was one of my first videos after I started my booktube channel. And it is a Bosnian story, really, a history of Bosnia under Ottomans in a series of episodes about people who are living in a small town of Fischergrund around an old bridge, which was one of the main communication knots in the Balkans, and this is the epic story that follows through lots of generations and telling the tale of those past times, and it, you know, I feel really quite the master of it, because of course, you know, I read this book several times, and I know it very well, but also, you know, the place where this place, this small town Vyšegrad is, it is just, you know, 30 kilometers from my hometown in Bosnia, and Vyšegrad, that's why, you know, where my grandparents also used to live. I visited Vyšegrad many times, so I'm very acquainted both with the text and with the place as such. So Ivo Andrić, Bridge over the Drina. Prompt number 4, Fullerton from Northanger Abbey. Now there was nothing so charming to her imagination as the unpretending comfort of a well-connected parsonage, something like Fullerton. Name a book containing a contented family. And this was pretty difficult prompt, because you know, most of the books that involve, you know, some kind of, you know, family life are, you know, very sad books. It's always, you know, people with the problems, and you know, it's somebody, you know, drug abusers, they're unhappy, and infidelity, and here and there are lots of problems all the time. So it was very difficult to find such a book. And I found one book. It does contain a contented family, at least, you know, in certain respect. It's a book by a Finnish author, Kjell Westö. It's in Swedish, Den svavelgula himlen, the sulfur yellow heaven, or the sulfur yellow skies. Is, I think it's a right translation. And Kjell Westö is a Finnish author. He writes in Swedish, and he is a fantastic. It's one of my favorites. I really love Kjell Westö. You know, his writing is fantastic. He's a great storyteller, and he's very good in creating a picture and feeling of Finland and Helsinki, which is, by the way, one of the places I really love. So I really love reading Kjell Westö. And in this book here, there is a family. It's a Rebel family. The last name is Rebel. They are wealthy. They are, you know, well connected in a society. They are living in a very kind of, you know, complacent life. However, you know, their children don't really, in the next generation, really don't follow that life fully. But you know, they are like, you know, rebelling like what all youth does, and they have their own problems and so on and so forth. But you know, the whole you know, kind of a family fundament in the bottom is one of these contented, you know, wealthy Nordic families, and this book is situated in Helsinki. It is spanning from 1960s up until our time, and it's like, you know, it is partially a family saga, like many of Kjell Westö's books, but it's also a love story among other things. It's, you know, really, you know, recommended reading Kjell Westö in general. Anything that you can find in English from Kjell Westö, you know, it is worth reading. So highly recommended. Okay, let's move on. Number 5, Rosings Park in Pride and Prejudice. He declared he might almost have supposed himself in the small summer breakfast parlor at Rosings, a comparison that did not at all first convey much gratification. Name a book that is constantly being compared to other books. And I think, you know, the first I thought of, it has to be The Process by Franz Kafka, because, you know, it's not that it's compared to other books. As soon as you have, you know, these books about the maze of bureaucracy, about the some kind of, you know, totalitarian tendencies, controlling people, everybody talk either of 1984 or in many cases about The Process. You know, most of the people that are referring to The Process, I'm sure they haven't even read it. It has become a kind of, you know, popular cultural phenomenon. So this is the book that is, you know, very often picked up and compared to. Another book that is very often in comparison, people are comparing to some of the episodes from there, comparing to protagonists, also doing retellings of these books, is the Odyssey of Homer. And you know, it's there are so many numerous retellings of this book. So Odyssey. So let's move on. Prompt number 6. HMS Sloop the Asp from Persuasion, quite worn out and broken up. I was the last man who commanded her. Name a book that is looking worse for the wear. And I don't have too many books that are really worn out that much, but I definitely found one that is, and I try to save it. I think that I would need Steve Donahue's help here because he's very good at fixing the books. It's this one. This copy of Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. So you see, it is battered, and I try to kind of fix it. It is dissolving into parts. So it is read many times and loved, but it really can't take it anymore. So we have acquired another newer copy, so that we are not using this one for active reading, but yeah, this is the one. Prompt number 7. Northanger Abbey. An abbey! Yes, it was delightful to be in an abbey, but she doubted as she looked around the room whether anything within her observation would have given her the consciousness. Name a book that wasn't as creepy or dramatic as you thought it would be. Here I have 2 books. Actually, first one is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I heard a lot about this one. I read it last year for first time, and I think it's going to be the only time. I didn't enjoy it very much. The story didn't really captivate me. It was I don't know. It was quite dull in my opinion, and also I was expecting kind of being that book should have more suspense, but it didn't really do anything for me. So Frankenstein. And another book that I liked very, very much, but it wasn't as creepy or dramatic as I was expecting, and it's the Divine Comedy. I've read so far only the first part, Inferno. So I was expecting it to be more of creepy and dramatic, but it wasn't. It was extremely interesting, from the both exploring the commandments, and how you can connect the different types of deeds to the commandments, but it is mostly actually a political text. And what gave me quite a lot joy when I read it is to explore the politics of past times in Florence and vicinity of Florence, and all the things that are happening there, but creepy and dramatic, not as I expected, but still fantastic text. Number 8, Portsmouth in Mansfield Park. The smallness of the house and thinness of the walls brought everything so close to her that, added to the fatigue of her journey and all her recent agitation, she hardly knew how to bear it. Name a book that disappointed you when you revisited it. And it was unfortunately the Foundation trilogy by Isaac Asimov. This was a book that I really loved in my 20s. It was, it really, I was completely absorbed into everything by Isaac Asimov in my early 20s. Both the Foundation series, all the robot novels, all the stuff that he's been writing was very interesting to me. And after a while I stopped reading it, and I revisited a couple of years ago and reread the trilogy, and it didn't really get to me again. It was okay. It was okay, but it did disappoint me a bit, because I was kind of remembering it better. So some books you shouldn't reread. You just should let the feeling of the first reading stay. So unfortunately, this was one of them. Okay, now prompt number 9. Kellynch Hall, Persuasion, Principal Seat, Kellynch Hall in the county of Somerset. Name a book from your ancestral home. And obviously, the Bridge of the Drina, you can't come closer to my ancestral home than the Bridge on the Drina, but that's, I already used it for the mistress or master prompt. So I would mention another one, which is very much Bosnia. And very well known among Bosnians. It's this one. It says in Bosnian, Dervish i smrt. It's the Dervish and Death by Meša Selimović. And Meša Selimović is one great Bosnian author who wrote several very strong novels. He's in his novels he's executing them very, very well. The stories are profound, and every sentence that he's writing is well thought through. And when you read them, you need to stop and think about what was said relate to your own life. So it is very. It's a great read by Meša Selimović, and this particular one is about the it is situated in Bosnia during the Ottoman rule, and it's about this guy that is a Muslim priest who finds his brother accused of crime, and the authorities plan to execute him without trial, and he gets very agitated by that, of course, and then he decides to save his brother by throwing himself into politics, and quickly he arranges a rebellion against the authorities, and which results in killing of main judge and ruler of a town, and then the problems start. So the Dervish and the Death by Meša Selimović would be the one. Okay, and now we are at the last prompt, number 10, Pemberley from Pride and Prejudice. They had now entered a beautiful walk by the side of the water, and every step was bringing forward a nobler fall of ground. Name a book you are ready to dive into. I have 2 books here. One that I'm in already, but that I've been slowed down since I'm in Jane Austen July. I had to put it on hold because I'm reading both Jane Austen novels and Jane Austen biography, so I had to concentrate on that. But I will get back to it as soon as I'm done with the Persuasion, and this is this one, God and the World. It is a conversation between German journalist Peter Seewald and Joseph Ratzinger, the former Pope Benedict XVI, and it is the conversation about faith. And I got it from a good friend, during or after maybe Midrash, and it is I would say so far the first ever book on religion in general and Christianity in particular that really makes sense to me, and this one it's really good and thoughtful book. And Peter Seewald is a German journalist. I think that he's working for the Spiegel or Die Welt, one of the big magazines or newspapers in Germany. Very well respected German journalist. So it is very well written. So it is set as a conversation between two of them, where the Seewald is asking and Ratzinger is replying. So it's a very nice one. So that one I'm looking to return to. and a book that I'm ready to dive into, that I still haven't started, is a book that I got from my wife Mia just recently, and is this one, Orientalism by Edward Said. And this is a classical work about the cultural representations of Orient, and basically, the whole idea of Orient is a Western, really Western idea, Western creation of figures and prejudices. I heard about this a lot, and it looks really good. So I'm looking very much forward to read it, and I am planning to read it during month of August. So Orientalism by Edward Said. So this was the prompt number 10, and this was the last book in this pile of books. And there is also a bonus question: which of these households would you most like to live in? And I haven't so far. I've read Pride and Prejudice. I've read Emma. I have read Mansfield Park, and now I'm reading Persuasion. And the house that looks, kind of easiest to live in, if you don't watch the movie, which was crap, is Mansfield Park. Mansfield Park, kind of, when you read the book, you get the picture of this grand estate, where with really lots of nice grounds around, and servants, and really a nice enjoyable life. So Mansfield Park, that would be a place, perhaps without all these annoying people around. So it's only kind of my family and the servants, and that would be nice thing. So that was it, and this was really great prompt, Tilly. Very well done, and Jack, thank you very much again for tagging me, and I need to tag now people who are participating in Jane Austen July in accordance with the rules of the tag, and I don't know. I think that most of the well-known participants are already tagged. I don't think that Britta Böhler is tagged, and Britta, if you are watching, consider yourself tagged. I know Britta is not very good at doing tags, or doesn't do tags very often, but this could be quite an interesting tag for her. And another person that I would like to tag for this is Steve Donahue. Even if Steve is not participating in Jane Austen July, I'm sure that he feel himself participating, because he has all these books still alive in his head, and I know that he really enjoys Jane Austen. So this could be a tag for you, Steve. So yeah, very good tag again. Thank you very much for that, and thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye.